So we're looking at our SOMSO multicolored brain here from our clear neuroanatomy model. And here we're looking at the sagittal section of the brain. Many of the structures that we can see here, we will also look at in our standard SOMSO brain, which is actually keyed out and numbered, but we can look at the same things here. So this big white structure right here is the corpus callosum. I'll change colors with lasers and hopefully get less glare. There we go, corpus callosum. Beneath that, this little beige colored structure right there is called the septum pellucidum. And then this white line right there is called the fornix. See the same structure over here. There's our corpus callosum, septum pellucidum, fornix. This little blue structure right there, that when we look closely, looks like a bunch of blood vessels, is a bunch of blood vessels. That is the choroid plexus, the structure that, of course, makes cerebral spinal fluid. Just below that, you'll see that little pink structure right there. That is the pineal gland, where melatonin comes from. This sort of triangular area right here is the hypothalamus. And what we can see of the thalamus in this section is just right there in the center where that little brown dot is. The area around that is what we can see of the thalamus. Now keep in mind that in reality, what we're looking at when we talk about the thalamus is a considerably larger structure than that. So we'll do some disassembling, which I'm going to regret. There we go. So in reality, that's what we're looking at with the thalamus. But this is all we can see of it in that section. Now, in doing this, I've conveniently removed the brainstem, and we can look at our regions there. The brainstem is divided into 3 regions. The midbrain, which is right there. The pons, which is right here. And then finally the medulla down here. Now, let's do a little bit of reassembly, which is, of course, super easy on our models made by SOMSO. SOMSO, made in Germany since like 1876. These models are still hand painted, I imagine, by extremely qualified artists, and then engineered so that they're extremely difficult to put together with one hand on, while the other hand holds a phone to video it. SOMSO, not made for people to operate with one hand. Go together. Screw it. Incidentally, cerebellum. Moving on. Alright. So the reason that I'm using this one at all and not just our standard brain model is that here we can see some areas of the brain and they're color-coded nicely, which will work out great for us. So, of course, the big brainy part of the brain here is the cerebrum. That brown thing that I just tossed, that's the cerebellum, and we'll look at it and the other brains as well. The lobes of the brain coincide with the bones of the skull. So we have frontal, parietal, occipital, temporal lobe. This red area right there, that bright red area is the precentral gyrus. And the dark blue area is the postcentral gyrus. This line in between them, that's the central sulcus. This line right here, right above the temporal lobe, that is the lateral sulcus. And then we have, of course, the line that divides the 2 halves of the brain. That's your longitudinal fissure. So now let's take another look at brain anatomy using our other brain model.